Good evening. Welcome to our current event session, November 19th, 2014. Today is birth anniversary of the late Prime Minister of India, Srimati Indira Gandhi. She was the only Prime Minister for India so far, rather highly dynamic. She's remembered even today for her both her dynamism and also for her dictatorship attitude. And whenever we talk about the concept of emergency, Indira Gandhi comes to our mind. And whenever Indira Gandhi comes to our mind, the concept of national emergency also comes to our mind. And it was because of that particular person, so there was an emergency during that time. But otherwise, she did so many things, including the privatization of the nationalization of the banks. And she was one person who is remembered even today for her slogan called Garibi Hatao, which was given by her in the year 1971. But otherwise, in the year 1969, she nationalized the private banks which were existing during that time. Of course, the number was 14, and those were the banks with more than 50 crores of assets. And again, in the year 1980, she nationalized six more banks, and altogether 20 were nationalized. And all this happened during the prime ministership of Srimati Indira Gandhi. Lots of experience in the politics and known for her dynamism and very swift in taking decisions. India remembered that great lady today on her birth anniversary. This is one point. Next, if you look at again Haryana, the same thing is still continuing even today. The police were little successful because the police have arrested very close aide of the self-styled godman, and that man is still evading. And if you look at this, who is powerful here? Right? Is he not challenging the state? Is he powerful or the state is powerful? Why there is so much of evasion? Otherwise, a person who was working as a junior engineer in Haryana, he elevated himself to such a level where he became very, very powerful, where the strongest force is not in a position to reach him. Altogether, 15,000 people were shielding him. Out of them, 10,000 have come back. Now, still, the anticipation is that 5,000 people are still there, and six persons have died, including one infant. Who should take the responsibility? Just because of a single person here, self-styled godman, just because of single person, six people have died, and many, many hundreds of people got injured. And unnecessary tension in Haryana today. And the central government has rushed 500 personnel to Hisar today to give the support to the local police. Why is this happening? If he is a godman, is a god, or behaving like a gunda? These are nothing but the terrorism activities. So this is the attitude of the terrorist. So the government has to take more seriously, and he has to be arrested and produced before the court, and the possible stringent punishment has to be given to this man. Otherwise, the peace in the society will be endangered. And when we come back to our topics here, let me show you the document. Let me open the document again, today's topic, and we'll have a discussion on this. So this is the Srimati Indira Gandhi's birth anniversary. Now, look at this. Yesterday also I gave you the similar type of question here. Which of the following country people have been promised with visa on arrival facility by the Prime Minister of India during his three-nation visit in November 2014? And as we know, the Prime Minister of India today is there in Fiji. And yesterday he was there in Australia. I was telling you, in Australia he stayed for 5 days. and now he is in Fiji, and from Fiji he will come back to India. And yesterday, when I was talking to you about the Prime Minister and his visit to Australia, he promised the people in Australia that they will be provided with the facility of visa on arrival. It's a good thing we have discussed. And today, the same thing has been promised by the Prime Minister of India even to the people of Fiji. That's the reason why current affairs is a subject which will keep on changing. Otherwise, here yesterday also I have given you these names, all the three names here. But yesterday when I was speaking, Fiji was not the answer. Only Australia was the answer. But today, if you look at this question, based on the latest information, the answer also changes. That's how the current affairs will change. Hence, we are expected to keep ourselves updated because anything may be a question. Imagine a situation. Imagine a situation, example, some people might have attended the class yesterday and they know very clearly that it is Australia. For Australian people, the Prime Minister of India has promised certain things. Now, imagine a situation they don't attend the class today, and because of some reason, they have not read the newspaper also. Obviously, that Fiji will not be there in their mind. Tomorrow, if there is a question, they will go by yesterday's information and they will go for Australia and where answer may be wrong. But in today's question, I have shown you all the three nations here. Australia and Fiji both were given an opportunity and facility for visa on arrival. That's the reason why I request all of you to attend these classes regularly, very, very regularly, without fail. Right? Now, let me go back to the document. So here answer should be B and C, that is Australia and Fiji. Kindly remember this. Right? Kindly see it. This is not the end of the story. The Prime Minister of India is going to various places in future also. Depending on the relations between India and that country, the Prime Minister may also provide these facilities even to the people of other nations also. That's the reason why if the Prime Minister is present within India or outside India, always it's a news, right? And what are the promises that were made by the Prime Minister will be important for the examination point of view. This is how the nation will try to enhance the bilateral relations between India and the other country. Okay, right. So next, let me show you the answer here. The answer should be D, that is both B and C. Next, let me come back to this Indian fisherman issue. I do this one. See here. So again, you need to remember all the points, especially those people who are writing the civil service examination. With respect to fishermen, Indian fishermen, I am talking about. So many times I have spoken to you regarding during our classes. Indian fisherman was arrested, 5 members in total, on the charges of drug trafficking, and they have been given a death sentence. After so much of uproar in India, the government decided to appeal before the court. But again, the government of Sri Lanka has asked Indian authorities to withdraw the petition from the court, because if you go to the court in Sri Lanka, just like in any other country, it may take a longer period of time. And the president of Sri Lanka has promised that he will take a step and he will use his executive powers and he will release the fisherman. Accordingly, Indian authorities, they have withdrawn their petition from the court, and as promised, the president of Sri Lanka, by using his executive powers, he released 5 Indian fishermen. It's a good news, and it is one of the very important success for Narendra Modi government. So it is the initiative that was taken by the present government, and the credit goes to this government. Otherwise, our people would have been either hanged or they would have been reduced the punishment to the life imprisonment. They would have spent their entire life in Sri Lankan jails. Obviously, this is a very good gesture between India and Sri Lanka, and it will enhance the relations between the two nations. So maybe in future, India will also be forced to release some of the fishermen who have been arrested by Indian authorities who entered into Indian waters from Sri Lanka. So this is the how the cooperation has to be maintained. Am I clear? Now, kindly remember, whenever we talk about the bilateral issues between India and any other nation, every aspect will come into the picture. It is not necessarily trade or economy every time. Hopefully, I'm clear. Now, let me show you this document. Very simple one. Very few points are there. We'll rush up here very fast. In the year 2011, in the year 2011, three Indian fishermen were arrested and sentenced to death for allegedly smuggling drugs into Sri Lanka. Known story. Today they have been released and handed over to the Indian officials. Good. And now I request you people to think on these lines. Does this act of Sri Lanka strengthen the mutual confidence? Yes or no? Kindly think here. It's a positive gesture. Sri Lanka behaved in a dignified manner. Good, clear. Of course, whatever the crime that was done, that's a crime, that's a different thing. But allowing them by giving them pardon is really a great thing on the part of the Sri Lanka, and the relations between India and Sri Lanka will be further strengthened. There is no doubt about this. And if you want, kindly think more on these lines. Next, we have another concept that is called Object 2014, that is 2014 28E. What exactly is this? Look at this. We have a concept of satellite, and we know what is the meaning of the satellite. There are natural satellites and artificial satellites. Natural satellites are like our moon, and artificial satellites are man-made satellites. They were sent into the orbit, they were sent into the space to study the concept of the space and various other issues. Sometimes what happens, some of the satellites that have been released from the earth, maybe by any country, they will be revolving, they'll be moving in a fixed orbit. Sometimes because of the machinery failure, they may lose the direction. They may be traveling in any direction, and there is every possibility that it may hit any part of the earth. If that satellite is getting crushed into the waters, that is oceans or seas, the damage will be minimum. But when it comes to the land, if that is hitting the land where the people are living, large population in that area will be dying. At the same time, the property is also lost. That's the reason various countries over a period of time developed various objects. They are also called satellites. These satellites will track other satellites, and whenever the original satellites, they become a threat. If there is a possibility of losing the direction and crashing onto the earth, the satellite which is monitoring the original one, it will shoot it down so that the damage will be minimized. That is the basic idea of these objects. Of course, in early 1960s itself, Russia has developed these objects, and so many countries are using it. It's a good thing rather. At the same time, some objects, the so-called the satellites, they are also used for collecting the garbage that is present in the space. The garbage is present not just on the earth, it is also present in the space in the form of the small pieces. So some satellites are used for collecting this garbage that is present in the space. But when it comes to this particular object, what we are talking here, 2014 28E, this is an object or a satellite that was launched by Russia, and today, because of its movement, the entire world is getting so many doubts. Some experts are saying that this is a satellite that is meant for collecting the garbage. Some experts they are saying that this is the satellite which has been used by Russia to shoot down the satellites of other nations. Meaning this is called a killer satellite. What is the exact truth that is yet to be known? Russia is yet to open its mouth and it is supposed to give its answer. But these are the opinions of the different people across the world. But anyway, within 1 day or 2 days, Russia may come out with its answer. But otherwise, this object is there in the news. But kindly remember, there are so many objects like this. There are so many satellites like this. Each satellite has been given a name. And every time, every satellite will not be a question. Hundreds of satellites are present over there, and we cannot remember all the names. But whenever any satellite, if it is there in the news because of any reason, that will be a possible question. That is the reason why I am talking to you about this orbit now. Am I clear? Now, in the examination, this may be a question, and now you know the answer, and kindly go for it. Let me show you the document. Let me tell you some points again regarding this. Have a look at this. This satellite is launched by Russia. What is the purpose? We are not clear. Some assume that it is a secret satellite killer. We don't know exactly. It is an assumption of some of the experts, and something that it is for collecting the space junk. Just now I told you this is space garbage. Whatever is present over there, that should be collected. Otherwise, this junk will become obstacle for the free movement of the satellites. Okay. Now, important one. Today it has been announced that which of the following institution has been conferred with Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace and Disarmament for the year 2014. In the beginning of the class itself, I told you, Srimati Indira Gandhi is one of the very, very important persons in India, and she was the only lady Prime Minister of India. She is always there in the news. Even today, also, the Congress party uses the pictures of Srimati Indira Gandhi more than the pictures of Sri Jawaharlal Nehru. Now, look at this. Today it has been conferred. It has been conferred to one institution. And what is the answer here? A, B, C, D here. A is Defense Research and Development Organization. Second one, National Institute for Nutrition. Third one is ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. Next one is the National Institute for Rural Development. Kindly see here, we have so many institutions that are present at the national level and also at the international level. As and when each institution is there in the news, I am going to have a discussion with you regarding each and every point here. So within a short, of course, I told you so many points regarding ISRO in our previous sessions. Okay, and and I would like to say one thing to you. One thing. Here we have this videos of our current affairs classes, which have started in the month of September. And for some people, you don't have access to the September videos. And starting from October 1st onwards, every video is available to you. But today, the September videos also have been opened for you. And kindly watch all the videos. Okay. And having the information with respect to the current affairs is important. And I mentioned you why the current affairs is very, very important. Since I have the videos from September 1st onwards, now it is open to you. You please watch each and every video. And if you want to make any suggestions to me, you kindly send me a mail or write some comments. You are most welcome. And one request, some students here, some of you, they are trying to talk to me through this what is called Google Chat or something here, Hangouts, right? Uh, because I'll be busy with the preparation of certain things here, I may not be in a position to attend your calls, please. Okay. And the finest way to reach me is the kindly send me a mail or drop a comment. Am I clear? Kindly do it. Whatever comes to your mind, whatever you want to have from me, you are most welcome. You can feel free. You can ask me depending on our discussions and the importance of that particular area. I'll be very happy to provide that information to you. Okay. As I have promised in the previous class itself, that is last week, some of you are asking the questions to be put on the website, right? So of course I'll be doing it very soon. I'll be doing it. Whatever the objective type of questions, I'm showing it to you on the screen here. That I'll try to put it immediately after the class or at the end of the week. So that let me decide it. But very soon I'm going to do it. So like this, if you have any difficulties or if you have any suggestions here, you are most welcome. Feel free, give me some suggestions. Accordingly, I'll be using it. And I told you already, my ultimate aim is that I want all of you to be there in fantastic positions. Clear? I want you to be very good citizens of the nation, where you will be serving for the cause of the nation here. Hence, whatever is possible for me to best of my knowledge, to the best of my abilities, I'll be always extending my services towards you. Hence, don't worry regarding speaking to me with respect to any aspect. You are most welcome. Right, sir? Now, and with respect to September videos, again, I'm repeating, they are available to you now. Kindly watch it as early as possible so that you will be on track with me. Sometimes what will happen, because we have discussed that point in the previous class, that repetition may not be necessary again. That's the reason why kindly follow all the current affairs starting from September 1st onwards. Okay. Now, let me go to the document. Let me open it for you again. We'll try to see the answer for this question. With respect to this question, the answer is, which of the following institution has been conferred with Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace and Disarmament for the year 2014? And here the answer is option C, that is ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. Kindly remember this. This award may be given to individuals. This award may also be given to the institutions. For this year, the award has been given to an institution and it is called Indian Space Research Organization. Every time it will be there in the news. So this is the institution which is behind all our capacities of the space technology. So there were so many troublesome situations for this ISRO, and ISRO fought against those troubles. And today, ISRO has become one of the successful institutions in India. And by recognizing this, this particular award has been conferred to Indian Space Research Organization. That is the reason it is very much there in the news. This is one question which is asked very frequently in any examination. Kindly remember Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace and Disarmament. Okay. Next. So your option should be C here. Okay. We have some points. Kindly look at this. In order to announce this particular award, so there is a group of people to decide this, to whom or to which institution this prize can be given, right? And this will be decided by a jury. Jury is nothing but a group of members, and that group is headed by the Vice President of India. Next, it was conferred to ISRO for its contributions for strengthening international cooperation in peaceful use of outer space. That is the reason here. Am I clear? Very, very important. Kindly remember this. And the answer for this question is the ISRO. Now, we have another important question here. Look at the question. Which of the following Indian companies has been permitted to sell Australia-made planes here? Which of the following Indian companies Australia-made planes are permitted to sell in India in the year 2014? Here, I think the question is given something wrong here. So here we need to change it here. For example, let me change it here itself. So this is the Tata and this is so-called Mahindra. All right. Like this. So we have something here. Right, let's leave it. Let's not waste the time. See here. So this is one important information with respect to our point here. Today, if you look at the Prime Minister, it's a general thing that will happen. Whenever the Prime Minister of India travels abroad, he will go along with a group of people, and those group of people will consist of administrators and also the top business people. And one of the important business groups that went along with the Prime Minister of India today are Adani Group, that is number one. Number two, this Mahindra Group. And when it comes to this Mahindra, let me talk to you directly here regarding Mahindra. This Mahindra Group has purchased one of the Australia companies, and that company will make the manufacture the planes. And for some reasons here, this Mahindra company was not permitted to sell its Australia-made planes to be sold in India. But the recent visit of Prime Minister to this Australia, and he still is yet to come to India, but the decision has been taken by the government of India, and the government has permitted the Mahindra to sell its Australia-made planes. Of course, these are the small planes where the capacity is 5 members to 10 members. So meaning here, this group is presently with the Prime Minister. So maybe there is a soft corner. Maybe there is an expectation for more economic growth. In fact, that's the reason why. So this Mahindra Group has been permitted. Right? Very, very important. Which of the following Indian companies Australia-made planes are permitted to be sold in India in the year 2014? Here the answer is Mahindra. Am I clear? So here the answer should be, it should be B here. Yes. Right. So I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Yeah. Now, so I'm shifting here. So these are called Mahindra Gibbs planes with a seating capacity of 5 to 10. Okay. Now, we have another concept called UNCCC. What exactly is this? It stands for United Nations Climate Change Conference. Clear. Now, see here in some of the few classes previously, I was talking to you about the pollution. So there is so much of pollution that is being emitted by various countries because of the so much of industrialization. Otherwise, the earth was covered by lots of forests previously. But today, what is happening in most of the countries, including India, on the name of this industrialization, on the name of the development, the green forestry is cut, and on that one, so we are constructing these industries. And industry is a mechanism where it will be releasing so much of pollution. And this pollution, the so-called the greenhouse gas effect here, this pollution is reaching the atmosphere and it is destroying the ozone layer, which is a very, very, very important layer for the earth. That layer is protecting the earth from ultraviolet rays. and there is a big hole in the ozone layer today. Hence, obviously, more heat from the sun is coming, more ultraviolet rays are reaching the earth. Obviously, the temperature levels are increasing. At the same time, because the greenery is cut, no plants, no trees, in proportion to the population, it's not existing. That is the reason why the carbon dioxide levels are increasing in the atmosphere. If the plants and trees are present, they absorb the carbon dioxide and they will release the oxygen and they will try to maintain the balance. As there is no greenery, most of the carbon dioxide that is existing in the atmosphere itself. And one of the important characteristics of this carbon dioxide is that it will absorb the heat, it will retain the heat. Obviously, the temperature levels will be increasing. If it is continued for a long period of time, that will lead to much increase in the global warming. Meaning the heat, so much of heat is coming to the earth. If the temperature levels are increasing, and you know the structure of the earth, two-thirds of earth is covered by the water, one third is by the land. And there are so many ice caps, so much of ice caps that are present on the earth. Because of this global warming, the ice will start getting melted and that will reach the oceans. And the ocean levels will increase. And slowly over a period of time, the earth will be inundated completely. The earth will be drowned. Once it is drowned, all the living beings, including human beings, they will be perished over a period of time. So there is a threat, there is a danger for the living beings that are present on the earth. That's the reason for quite some period of time, there is a new concept that has been developed in the entire world, and the countries have started talking about controlling the pollution and increasing the greenery so that the temperature levels which are increasing can be kept under control so that the global warming can be, the problem of the global warming can be addressed. This is the basic idea with respect to these various countries. And during last week also I told you, during the APEC summit, Asia Pacific Economic Council summit that was held in Beijing, America and China have signed an agreement for reducing the emissions. And these are the two big contributors as far as the emissions are concerned. When it comes to India, comparatively, India is very much less when compared to China and America. But still, India has to play an important role in the world. And various countries are signing these agreements. And India is also going to sign an agreement with the European Union so that there will be mutual agreement for reducing the emissions. And one of the programs is this. That is what I am going to show it to you now. Kindly have a look at this. It stands for United Nations Climate Change Conference. And it is also called COP20 or Conference of Parties. Okay. Next. In the year 1992, United Nations Framework Convention on climate change was held, and this particular year we are going to have it for the 20th year. The COP20 is the 20th year meeting. Now what exactly is this? Look at this. The UNFCCC is also known as Earth Summit. Sometimes you might have come across with the word Geo Earth Summit. Is it okay? This is a Rio Earth Summit. It is nothing but it's a Rio de Janeiro. It's a place in Brazil where this Earth Summit was held for the first time. That's the reason why it is called Rio Earth Summit. It was first held in June 1992. Followed by the CMP10 is the 10th meeting of the Kyoto Protocol. Kyoto is a place in Japan where various countries have met and they have decided to reduce the emissions. Now, the negotiations are held towards a global climate agreement. Kindly have a look at this very seriously, since it is a very, very serious and severe problem. If one, two, three, four countries are contributing, if they are taking some measures to reduce these emissions, the global emissions will not be stopped until and unless all the countries, especially the developed nations, will come together. These emissions cannot be stopped. Kindly see it. The people and the country and the world has to live in such a way where the people are living with lots of comfort and safety today. At the same time, it is also our responsibility to see that the future generations are also not getting suffered. Whatever the resources we are adequately enjoying today, we should also take every care that these resources will also be adequately available to the forthcoming generations. That is the basic idea. Next, look at this one. This is COP20. This is going to be held in Lima, that is the capital city of Peru, and it is going to happen this year, that is in the year 2014. Now, look at this. The goal, one moment, I just move it here. Look at this. This is important point. In any examination, it may be a question where this COP20 is held, are going to be held. The answer will be Lima, that is Peru, that is going to happen in 2014. Now, the goal of the conference is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. They are called GHGs, to limit the global temperature increase to 2 degrees Celsius above the current levels. So, meaning it will be an agreement that will be limiting the increasing of the global temperatures. Otherwise, what are the consequences? I told you already. Look at this. What are these greenhouse gases? Greenhouse gases are those gases that absorb and emit radiation. And this is leading to the greenhouse effect. They just don't absorb, they absorb and emit radiations. Kindly see here, even in India also, most of the people in the country, we always say that the temperatures are increasing year by year. Yes, there is no doubt about that. Otherwise, here we are in the month of November, 15 days are over, just 10 days are left. Even today, also we start feeling in so many cities in the country, even during this particular winter season, also, so the people are feeling sultry. So, because of the increasing the temperature levels, right? And this is considered to be the absorbing and emission of the radiation. This is increasing year by year, which is not at all good for the human beings there, or for that matter for the living beings. And this is leading to the greenhouse effect. Look at this next one. The greenhouse gases that are in the earth atmosphere are, kindly remember, water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, ozone, chlorofluorocarbons. So these are all considered to be the greenhouse gases. And last point here, the greenhouse effect leads to global warming. Am I clear? Now, so this is about this. Kindly remember this. And the people who are writing the civil service examination, kindly follow the whole concept very, very clearly. Over a period of time, once this meeting is over in Peru, I'll be updating you with so much of information. But for those people who are writing any other examinations, for the examination, they will ask you where this COP20 will be held. Kindly remember this. Clear? In which year the first Earth Summit was held? That was 1992. Okay. Next. So, what are these greenhouse gases? Kindly remember these parts. Okay. And before I conclude the session, let me tell you, kindly watch all the videos very frequently and give me your review also, right? So now, let me stop at this stage, and we'll be meeting tomorrow at the same time. Until then, I wish you all the very, very best. Thank you so much for being with me this evening. I'll meet you tomorrow at the same time. Good night. Take care.